What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Aviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. And today we have a very exciting custom panel unboxing for you all. I hope all of you are excited for this. This is awesome for GeminiJets. And once again, thank you so much to Brad from Custom Diorama Panels for sending yet another one over. Very excited to have this one. This is going to be really cool. So this one's actually way bigger if you can't tell. This is actually a 16 by 16 diorama here. Previously, I've had 12 by 12s, but the inspiration here that we talked about was the thought process of, for the wide bodies, having a little bit more area to work with. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm really excited to have it here if I can somehow manage to get it going here, as it definitely is not going to be having any problems. So again, very excited to have this one. I hope all of you are excited to take a look at it. So let me go ahead and get this going here, and we'll see if we can take a look. I'm trying to open it from the bottom intentionally so that we can obviously get a nice genuine reaction when we get this out here. So I hope all of you are excited for this. Let's see if I can somehow get enough on it here to get it going. Gosh darn it, man. Apologies, everybody. It's definitely not easy material to get off for sure. So yeah, I'm eager to see what this one's going to be like, though. It's going to be absolutely awesome. There we go. And we can now pull this off. All right, so we do have paper over it this time, so that's really cool. Or it's over that side, because the last one ended up getting some scratch marks. So let's go ahead and take a look, everybody. So again, thank you so much, Brad. I appreciate you doing this so much. This is Philadelphia, runway 27 left, 1:400 scale. So here's the credentials about the Philadelphia International Airport. Feel free to read that if you like. And there's custom diorama bases right there on that one. And there's his contact information. So if you're interested in this base or any others, feel free to reach out to him. Once again, he's a great guy and has some really awesome products, and I'd highly recommend it. So Philadelphia, 21st busiest airport in the United States. A really large airport and quite a bit going on. So obviously, it's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see what this base looks like. It's going to be really fun, and eager to see what this looks like. So let's not waste any further time and just go ahead. Sorry about that, everybody. We're always running out of storage around here. But nevertheless, let's not waste any further time and go ahead and see what Philadelphia runway 27 left looks like here. Okay, very nice. That turned out really good. So here it is, runway 27 left at Philadelphia International Airport. So as you can tell, big board, it's 16 by 16. The others are 12 by 12, and I'll go ahead and bring in the other one so you can see how big of a difference that is. So as you can tell, it's a very noticeable size comparison there, very different. So that's really cool. So yeah, looking very sharp right here. As you can tell, it's a very good looking board. Definitely some really nice aspects to it. So yeah, this is literally going off of the last one. This is exactly what I was talking about regarding grass, you know, a couple other components just to enhance it. And I think that it really takes it to the next level. So you got that blast pad back there and some really nice markings and so forth. So looks really cool, and overall that's really sharp. So let me just go ahead and put some sort of cool plane out here, like a Vietnam 7810, for example. That's the closest one in proximity, and you can certainly see kind of what that looks like a little bit. And as you can tell, it looks really nice. We're gonna run out of light soon, but that's fine. But you can definitely tell how cool that looks, and then you can kind of move it around here and get some different dynamics there. So there's a nice look at it right there. And yeah, that's really good. So yeah, just absolutely outstanding effort. I'm gonna press it down. It came in a little clunky, but that's not a problem at all. Probably from getting jammed in some truck or spot or whatever. So that's gonna be easy fix. I'll just put it under some sort of heavy weight while I'm gone for here for a couple weeks, and I'll fix it up immediately. Alrighty, everybody. So picking this video up, I apologize for the intermission there. I recorded this part that I'm recording now, but it got lost somewhere in the deletion process. So I completely apologize about that. So for not exactly where we picked up, I apologize a little bit. But anyway, here it is, runway 27 left at the Philadelphia International Airport. This board is really cool, and there's a bunch of awesome components to it. So first and foremost, once again, here's what the back looks like. Really cool. It has all the description there for Philadelphia. Obviously, Philadelphia is a big operation for American Airlines, and quite a few other airlines have solid establishments there too. So here's what the board looks like. Again, it's 16 by 16, so it's well over a foot, and it definitely shows here with the size. You can see it here on my 4x2 table. It's certainly a very substantial part of it, so that's definitely noteworthy. But let me go ahead and get some aircraft so we can take a look at some particular elements here. So the first aircraft I'm going to bring onto the scene is going to be a narrow body, because you'll see less of these here. The Southwest 737 MAX by NG Models in the Amuma 1 livery. This is a good aircraft to show the contrast of the board. I usually show this one on all these board reviews, and I'm hoping, I don't know if this got caught in the previous clip or not, but I really hope to get a Tulsa International Airport runway, whether that's 18 left, 36 right. I think that would look really nice. So that's probably going to be the next one. But as you can tell, this is really cool, and it certainly really brings it out quite well. I love the asphalt color. It's definitely very contrast worthy and really nice. And there's also some lighter shades of gray where aircraft tires have came through. So I think the attention to detail is extremely phenomenal in those ways and certainly contrasted out well. So here's kind of a little bit of the tilting aspect. Again, I'm not sure how much was in that initial part, but I think it picks up right when we were about to get into runway detail. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual board itself. So here's a really good overview of it. As you can tell, we have quite a few different aspects to it. So starting here, you got the runway 27 left. Really good job on the font and the printing and so forth. It's very accurate. The proportions are exactly right, just extremely precise. The attention to detail is phenomenal in so many ways. So definitely want to highlight that there, as you can tell. Also take a look at that taxiway line, how much thinner it is here on this particular board. So it is really cool to see, you know, how it goes from that really light yellow there to the way darker yellow there on the actual asphalt itself. So that's certainly very noteworthy. Once again, there's the different pieces of gray. I think that's cool to have those touch-ups. It's definitely nice and different and fun, so that's really cool. Here's the piano tiles. They look really nice, and they definitely are very worn out, which is really cool to make it as realistic as possible. You can see particularly here, so really good attention to detail. And you can tell, I believe it's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so you have 8 piano tiles on both sides. That's 16 total. So I believe this is a 200-foot wide runway. Does it say back here anywhere? So this is a, let's see, a 12,000 foot long runway. Does not say what the width of the runway is, but I'm thinking it's 200, but you can definitely see the size difference there. But anyway, as you can see, you got the gray marks here, so that also looks really nice, and I think it is really cool to integrate that. And you can also see even in the middle area here, we got some scratches, so that's really cool. Whether that was intentional or not, who knows, but it is really cool to get to see that. So I think that's quite fascinating and very good detail to that. So overall, that's really fun. I also want to note, you can't see it from every angle, but there are 1x1 tiles on it, which is really cool in some areas, particularly right there on the taxiway. So that's really cool. So you can really see it better if I tilt it a little bit where those markings come into play. So that's certainly very realistic and very cool to see in various aspects there. And then you can also see, once again, the blast pad area, which is really nice. Or actually, that would be technically a displaced threshold, excuse me. So looking very nice. Was just looking at the Tulsa blast pad, that's why I used that word. But anyway, I do know my runway terminology a little bit better than what I sound. But anyway, you do have the lights off to the side here, so good detail on that. You got 4 on each side, so that's pretty cool. I'll go ahead and zoom in so you can get a little bit of a better perspective. You also have those 2 small ones right there, so really good opportunity here to really take it in and get a really good look at it. So that's definitely nice. You also have the runway sign, presumably right there, or some sort of sign. So you have that one, and you also have the one right there. So very good attention to detail. It's pretty weird seeing it from 2D. It's a little bit different because you have all the actual physical markings that extend up, but the majority of this obviously is 2D worthy. So that's very nice. So there's the back. Once again, really good job on the different detail. There's the grass pad that also looks really nice. You got the green and the various colors on that. So that's really cool. At the other side here as well, in the various shades of green, so that certainly also really stands out. And then you also got the black line down there at the bottom. That's really cool for the this has a shoulder on it of 25 feet maybe. That might be a little bit generous. It might be 10. It's 10 or 25, I think. But anyway, you definitely see that, and the white really stands out too, so that's really nice. There's the taxiway line. That looks really nice, and really great job on the tire markings, particularly there. You can definitely see where that stands out and how important that is. And you also got the ILS critical area hold bar, so that's very cool as well. So love the outside there, and very interesting they didn't continue the line here, that being Philadelphia Airport, not custom airport panels, because obviously we're making this to the realistic aspect of what it is. So just fascinating for sure, but overall looking very nice in those aspects. So I want to bring in a couple more models here so you can get an idea of what this looks like with different airplanes on it. The next aircraft I'm bringing in is a United Airlines 767 in the Evo Blue livery. So obviously this being a Euro-wide aircraft, you can certainly see that it's certainly contrasting very nicely there with the dark asphalt, which is really nice. And this is similar to the other board that I got, the Fantasy 36 left. So that's very cool too, but you can definitely see that contrast there and what that looks like. So that's certainly a very good depiction of that. And I'll go ahead and pull it up on runway 27 left so you can see what it looks like with that piano tiles. And it certainly is a really good contrast right there too. So what's really cool about this board is there's multiple areas where I can place these aircraft and get different vantage points. So perhaps the Amuma 1, since it's a full livery aircraft, would look better on the piano tiles. Well, we could make the argument, but just for sake, maybe it looks better on the piano tiles. But honestly, I think they all look better without the piano tiles, and that's just for the contrast aspect. But once again, on this livery, then you put it back over here and you can see it a little bit better. So, you know, it just depends. But definitely on the Euro whites, definitely on the piano tiles for sure. Off the piano tiles, excuse me. And then let me go ahead and bring in a wide body, because this is a wide body board after all, right? So this is the Vietnam Airlines Boeing 787-10. So you can see that the wings go out right to the lines. So definitely very realistic and indicative of this. We're seeing less and less of these wider runways at some of the smaller airports, but still large hub airports obviously have them. So pretty important, especially for the Airbus A380s, Boeing 747s that are very actively flying around. Just depends on the airport, but an airport like Anchorage, for example, would be more entitled to having a runway like this instead of Kansas City or wherever it would be. So yeah, this is definitely a nice looking representation here on this Vietnam Airlines 787, and it looks very nice. So yeah, overall, this is a really good board with some phenomenal detail on it. Once again, Brad did a fantastic job, so definitely check out his email. And he goes to all the collectible shows, like I said, so definitely check those out. And Airlines International 2025, which will be held at the Delta Flight Museum. Super exciting, June 25 through 28. So definitely check that out when we get additional information to come on that. And then I also want to note that, like I said, I am working towards getting another board. I'm not opposed to possibly working towards a ground apron or another such marking. So if you have it, if you all have any particular elements that you'd like to see, just let me know. But definitely leaning towards getting a TUL board and then seeing where we go from there. But always enjoying the variety of what we can get here and how cool these boards are. It's certainly really fun. So again, big appreciation to Brad. He does great work, and I'm really excited for what's coming. I hope all of you are as well. So with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just process. Do love you do. My name's CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. CM Aviation is signing.